Yen Daity! We did it this morning again on a Friday. Have a fantastic and a fabulous and an amazing weekend. Separate note.
Yeah.
Miracle Fire Rub for all arthritis, pain, swelling, poor circulation, numbness, inflammation, cold and flu, stroke, stiffness, sprains, strain, boils, insects, bites, and menstrual discomforts. Miracle Fire Rub, available at King Street Pharmacy, 72.5 King Street, downtown Kingston, Case Pharmacy, Duhaney Park Plaza, Kingston and Fontana Pharmacies nationwide, and March Pharmacy, downtown Kingston. Miracle Fire Rub. Rub it on, the pain is gone, gone, gone.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Good evening and welcome. Tonight, hard conversations and very human moments. From how our public services are changing to what lingers after the storm passes to the courage it takes to speak up. And yes, even how we react to good news. This is a Friday show that holds space for serious realities and lets us exhale before the week ends. This is Lead Story. When a hurricane passes, we talk a lot about roads, roofs, and electricity. But what about the damage we can't see? Tonight, we return to the human cost of recovery, the emotional weight that lingers long after the rain stops. We are now taking a look at what has happened to a young man in Cambridge, St. James, and hearing his story about the impact of Hurricane Melissa. Let's take a listen.
Basically, it was a traumatizing situation because basically this town blew like 2:30, 3 o'clock. So you know, people gonna come outside
In the afternoon.
to walk and see what is what. So basically, that is like after 6. Everybody like walking. So I was out by the road going to make a march side, and when I look, I see a flood coming from Mr. Print. I saw the water traveling from Mr. Print. So I leave from there, so I go home. So by the time I reach home, the water reached my knee.
And your baby was inside, and the 5-year-old was inside?
In the house. So I go around and grab my daughter and so I have to move with them.
The small one?
Yeah, and the two of them, because I have one in my left hand and I have a baby in my next hand. So I travel with them. So I go look rescue over my friend's house. She have a 2-story. So by the time I reach around Fair Lane, I see she and her family running from her house, going across the road. So I say, what is this? Because I run for rescue and she I run from her house. So I start get panic. So a lady I tell me say, you must come. We go over 1 3-story. So when we go
How far away was the 3-story?
3-story like 4 blocks. 4 blocks away from
and you have the baby in your hand, you have the 5-year-old in your hand, your neighbor is running with you, and all of you are trying to get to this house.
Trying to get
as the water is coming. Where's the water now?
Like when we are coming?
Yes.
Basically at my waist.
Okay.
So basically
it's rising really
fast, like a blink and a eye. So by the time we see the woman, we go into the next house. We give someone the baby, we're up by the house, and the next daughter go inside. So same time some other people was coming and I say help, elderly young people. So one of my cousins them named Ali, he tell me that he gonna help them, we can do this. Same time we are doing it like one elderly lady.
Do what? Help people?
Yes, to cross the water, because basically at this time now when Ali is helping, the water is chest height.
Okay.
Chest height the water is. And
so you put down the babies inside this 3-story house and you come back out now to help people.
Because Ali said, Kojo, we need to do this. And same time when I feel little cousin them come across the water, they start cussing, kind of say, oh, don't panic, just give me a hand and we can help you cross. And about 8 or 9 old people and about 5 to 6 kids are coming in the water.
That's a terrifying saga of a man there in Cambridge, St. James, talking about what he had to do to assist his neighbors and friends after the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Now, where he puts us is him having to go and save his 2 small children, take them out of the house, because after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, it appears that water overflowed the banks of a nearby river passage and therefore got into the community. So he took the children, took his neighbors, went into a high-rise home. However, he indicates there that he, along with his cousin, went now to attempt to rescue and save other neighbors. A brave and brilliant act that he and his cousin had to get involved in. However, as we continue to hear his frightening tale after Hurricane Melissa, he had to now rescue his cousin himself. This bravery had consequences. Let's listen to some more.
If it's so high for them, how are they managing? Were they struggling?
Yes, because basically I said some elder people was there, so them have to have them up. So Ali in the middle of the water, and we are on the 3-story house, so we are channel people through the water to the house.
You told me one of the stories of an elderly lady making her way across. Talk to me about that, because you said she ended up on top of her roof?
Yes, with her daughter and her grandson. So we was telling her that come around so we can hold your hand to try, see if we could escort her to the upstairs house. Because we don't know how far water come up on this first floor.
So she's on her roof, trying to move across to the 3-story house's roof. How old is her daughter?
She's about 34.
So an adult woman, an elderly woman, and
about a 6-year-old.
Okay.
So basically, the mother walk up to the front of the roof to try to come around, and she drop off in the water. She drop off in the water. A young man by the name of Jodi-Ann get the alert, and Jodi-Ann just dive off in the water.
And you said he's a teenager?
He's a 15-year-old. Go to the Anchovy High School. So when Jodi-Ann jump off him, I hear that a lot of nights say, Kojo, somebody jump in the water. So me run come down 5 upstairs. And when I look Jodi-Ann like 5 meters away from the 3-story house. Like I go down the road with the lady.
So in the opposite direction?
He might go down left way.
Yes.
So we up here and he might go down the road. So I say, no, I can't make this happen. At the same time I jump off to go over there.
To go rescue the two of them now.
Because Jodi-Ann run out of breath and the lady so panic. Because you know water. So when the lady hold on panic, my sister them are getting a difficulty. You just go there and help them. Only more people try to come across the water. I want Rasta man over yard. He can't see. Out of house to go for him. Take him over and drill. Take him out and house, put him over and gate. Before everything started,
while the water is
rising.
How are you managing after? Because you have the fear for your children there. You're seeing all of these people struggling. How is the woman in the water and Jodi-Ann? How are they?
Jodi-Ann is okay. Jodi-Ann is okay, but the lady, she's in America right now because water go down in her lungs. So,
how are you managing?
Traumatizing. Because if I see rainfall right now, I just start planning for the move. Like get my stuff with my daughter and try go somewhere where I know I say I have to go experience and flood like this. Because up to this morning, I say thank you, Father God. Because if I did night, thousands of people, hundreds, been catching on.
What does Captain Hall look like now? Do people have roofs? Do you have a roof? Do you have a safe place to be with all the flooding?
Basically, my father house get damaged, and there's somewhere with my daughter then we can stay. I don't complain. But it was a lot of mud and they come and do them work. So we just need some sanitizing and because a lot of mold and the fire coming up.
What kind of help do you need to manage?
Basically right now, we just love everybody come together and do what they can do. You know, I'm going to say this or that. Once anything anybody can do, you appreciate it. Because like, as I said, my father was gone. And when they work, same me, I try make ends meet. And my youth them want food, same me. So, I lose all of my clothes and my youth them lose all of their clothes. Rough.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to us and to share your story.
Yes, miss. Thank you.
Give me your phone number.
That's Kojo sharing his story there after the passage of Hurricane Melissa. When we talk about the lives that people live, we often focus on them needing to be resilient, moving on, going forward, doing more. But as you heard there, a young man did his best, helping out his family member he saw in difficulty after the passage of the storm, helping out a neighbor who, with his cousin jumping in to assist him, the cousin was not able to manage due to the amount of water and the panic you heard there from the older woman attempting to make it across one roof to another to safety. You heard this man take his children out, save them, and then go back to assist, doing what needed to be done. My apologies. But all that you saw there is of a young man who also has said it's traumatic. You heard him. If he hears it raining now, he wants to pick himself up, pick his children up, and leave. That is the reality of so many people after Hurricane Melissa. That is what they're dealing with. It's not just the cleanup of the communities. It's also what happens then when you need to put things together and to help individuals get through the mental trauma of having lived through such a devastating storm. Let's listen to more now of what has taken place, but also try to help you better appreciate the lives of individuals and what it is that they've had to live through after Hurricane Melissa.
How are you managing after? Because you have the fear for your children there. You're seeing all of these people struggling. How is the woman in the water and Jodi-Ann? How are they?
Jodi-Ann is okay. Jodi-Ann is okay, but the lady, she's in America right now because water go down in her lungs. So,
how are you managing?
Traumatizing. Because if I see rainfall right now, I just start planning for the move. Like get my stuff with my daughter and try go somewhere where I know I say.
Traumatizing. That's what we want to remind you of. That tonight, in January, after the passage of Hurricane Melissa, people are still dealing with the consequences. I hope that if you are dealing with them, you get the help and support that you need. And if you know someone else who is, that you can help them through this time. We're taking a break inside Lead Story and coming back to you here on CVM Television.
into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Jamaica's unemployment rate has fallen to 3.3%, down from 13.2% in 2016. Our government's continued focus on job creation is delivering real results. We are building Jamaica. The time by the Office of the Prime Minister is...
Every dream conquered is another dream game. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction, 'cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling, don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't fit the dark, shine your lights on.
Yeah, we're here at Culture Works, the second staging.
Forward for the next staging of Skyline Levels Culture Works this Friday, 7 p.m.
The rebels them in town, in town, in town.
I'm here right now at Skyline with Culture Works.
More works, positive, hopeful. Skyline Levels, I hit man, season 2, Culture Works.
Every day we're going in circles.
Yeah, Culture Works.
Culture Works. It's like Culture Works started off a year, a great work for me.
Culture Work, yeah man, it's been a great journey.
Blessed love, we're at the Skyline Levels at Culture Works.
We're here again on a season 2, so I hope that you and your friend them come, right?
Thanks so much for staying with us. Inside Lead Story. When one woman spoke out about being harassed, others came forward with similar stories. Tonight, we're not here to try a case, but to examine what it means to speak up, to be believed, and to speak accountability in a system that many women says failed them. We have inside studios this evening speaking with us a social media commentator who has shared her own story of harassment here in Jamaica, leading so many other women to come forward with their own stories as well. But first, let's take a look at what she posted on social media, sparking the conversation.
Kingston, coming up to girls asking for their numbers. Once he gets their numbers, he calls them to threaten them if he doesn't get his way. When I met him was at Devon House. He's brown, tall, he have black lips. Came up to me in Devon House parking lot, kept on pushing me to get my number. I was just like, hey, you can have my IG. Oh, I'm not on social media. Give me a number. Give me a number. It was just like, oh, damn. This man might be violent. Like, I was instantly picking up the fact that, hey, he's violent. Like, he's aggressive. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna give him my number, because you know they love to do that thing where they call you in front of you to check if it's actually like your number. So then he did that. Yeah, he said, oh yeah, you can save me. I walked away. As I took the first step away, I blocked the number. Only for like 2 days, I don't know, this happened like day before yesterday. Only for like a couple days later, and I know it was him because when I posted the story, the girls all said, hey, he did this to me too. He called me, didn't identify himself, just delivered he said, yo, is this Sage? I said, yes. He said, well, suck ya, madam. I can't wait to see you in the streets and you... Like, I said, oh. I said, why? Yo, I really wasn't taking it, like, serious, because I was like, why? Like, what did I do to make you that mad? Oh, I rejected you.
A horrifying story there is what you just heard of a young woman indicating threats that she received, not after dating someone for a long period of time, never appropriate, but this person doesn't even know her. And yet, an immediate confrontation with this individual has now led to her speaking out and having other women share their stories as well of what it seems to be a serial harasser and perhaps even more. We have Sage in studio with us today inside Lead Story. Hi, Sage.
Hi.
Sage, you have decided to speak out. What made you decide to speak out publicly about your experience with this man? Because the story you shared is a lot more complex. First, why say anything at all?
Well, I was livid, first of all. I was so angry that how dare you have the audacity to do this to me when you know that I'm a woman in like a more vulnerable position. You're a grown man, apparently 47 years old. So that I didn't want to take it. I didn't want to take it lying down.
Give us some context about what happened, because we've heard the beginning of that video there. There were several other videos that you and other women shared online. Tell us what happened and then what you found out afterwards that made you even more concerned that this individual now had come up to you, had harassed you, and you finding out that you're not the first or only person he's done it to.
Well, I posted my video initially. And then I started seeing more comments come in about, hey, this is, he goes by this name. He came up to me when in as early as 2009 BC. He's been doing this, and I was so disturbed to the point where I figured out I need to look into this more. Because he needs to be held accountable.
When he came up to you, where were you?
I was in the parking lot of Devon House.
When you are in a parking lot as a woman, are you hyper aware of what is going on? Are you watching around you? Are you seeing what is going on?
Yeah, I was seeing what was going on, and it wasn't even a space where I was the only one in like a desolate place. No, there were cars passing, there were people going in and out of the party that I was going to. So to me, it was like the most audacious thing that he could do.
This has happened. You shared your story. When other people came and had their comments, shared their stories as well, what went through your mind?
I was disturbed. I was disturbed and disgusted. And I was surprised because it was like a snowball effect. It's over like hundreds of stories, hundreds of women from different years, all consistent. So
And you said from 2009, so this is years and years of stories, more than a decade of stories.
More than a decade of stories. More than
15 years at this point in time.
From he was in high school, the earliest story. From he was in high school.
What have these women shared about how they feel that it's not just you, it's not just one or two comments, they're also seeing other women experiencing the same person as well?
They're angry as well. And I'm so glad that that's the emotion that's being felt instead of sadness and instead of dread and defeat. It's anger. And I think that we as women need to connect with that emotion more and speak out and retaliate even more, because that I want them to be afraid to be predators like this. I want them to see me, see my story, see everybody else's story on TikTok and say, oh, I can't do that. That's probably going to be me one day.
So public shame, public awareness is something that you think will stop people from doing these sorts of behaviors. But there's also a legal aspect to it, that this is behavior that could have him have a conversation with the police. This is behavior that could have him picked up by the police. What do these women say, and what do you say when this man has been allowed to do this for so long?
I'm just confused. This man's behavior is predictable. It's consistent. It's not a surprise to anybody. He's known in his community, in other communities. He's all over the place in Kingston. So I'm wondering, how is it that he keeps coming back? He keeps getting the opportunity to traumatize somebody else. He keeps getting, so who is intervening?
Who is intervening indeed is an important question. How has this experience affected your sense of safety in public places? Because this looks like something now that would keep your head on swivel forever.
Oh yeah, Jamaica, I have nothing on me. I watch faces, I watch my back, my front, the front of my back. I watch everything now. Like I think it made me more sensitive and hyper aware that maybe I should have been a long time ago, but now we live, we learn, we grow, and I'm just here to tell everyone, yeah, you should be like this too.
Be aware. Be aware of your surroundings, but also you should feel safe going out. You should feel safe going up to your car. You should not have to be concerned that what has been identified in these stories of 15 years of harassment, a predator now going out and harassing women as they go out. What's been the response of law enforcement or any other official figures after your story and after the stories of what you've identified to be hundreds of women?
So I was reached out to by Devon House. I was reached out to by the open house people, the party that I was going to. I went to the police. I went to Grand Span Police Station and I made the report. While I was there, I guess this is procedure, but I didn't really have that much information at the time. So we had the street that he was on. So we traveled, me, my dad, and 2 police officers. We traveled to his place because they said they were going to warn him.
Because you don't know this man, you don't know anything about him, but you are having to now go along with the police to warn him?
Yes.
How did you feel about that, having to accompany the police to somebody you already are concerned about?
I was, I wasn't scared, but I really wanted to find him and show him my face to say, hey, you cannot do this to women and just pretend that we're just going to take it lying down. Like, we're taught to do that, but it's a new age. We're not going to do that anymore.
Sage, you're on TikTok as you shared this. For the persons who want to continue following this story, where can they find you on TikTok?
So my TikTok handle is iconsage_. You can follow me. I'm really funny, I promise.
But you also can see the comments of the other women. You can see the follow-up to this story. Before we close, how are you coping emotionally? Because you're vulnerable here. You're making yourself open, allowing other women to then share their stories. But how do you feel? How are you coping?
I think I'm handling it pretty well because there has been overwhelming support from women, like everywhere, even men as well. That's how I found his name. A man actually.
Oh, share the information, so you were able to make a better report to the police. Yes.
So I feel safe in a sense because it's been nothing but support and love and stories, and even people who have gone through worse things with him are comforting me. So I don't have a problem being out here, talking on behalf of them because a lot of them really don't want to talk and come out, but I have no problem doing that.
Sage, you're brave, and I'm really glad that you have been the voice that allows for all these other women to share their stories and allow for us to have a national conversation about harassment in this way. Sage, thanks for joining us this evening inside Lead Story.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a break and come back to you because there are conversations to be had. We're switching gears now and looking at your mail. Things are changing, and how things are getting posted is changing as well. Stay with us inside Lead Story.
Jamaica, make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
Every dream conquered is another dream gained. I land and I fly again like a jet plane. Headed straight in your direction. 'Cause I'm wiser, one step closer. I'm winning 'cause I work so hard. And the music keeps on playing, and the people them I say we are my show tonight. Oh, what a feeling! Don't stop dreaming. Keep on believing in the power of the feeling. Whatever you want, take a chance. Song in your heart, step in your dance. You got a spark, don't put it down. Shine your lights on.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than
Thanks so much for staying with us inside Lead Story, a shift after a shift. We're not going to be talking about You've Got Mail in the sense of physical packages, but perhaps You've Got Mail in the sense of a romantic story. A movie in the early 2000s might just be the framing that allows us to have this conversation. Because online conversations have been sparked after a surprising question had been asked. Will you marry me? Well, someone was very excited, and other people, it seemed, were confused by the excitement. Now, when you have a marriage proposal and you share that sort of story, other people are quite happy for you. But there now seemed to have been another surprising question that had been raised. Is it wrong for you to be too happy? Well, that's a conversation that we're having right now with Reverend Gary McKenzie inside Lead Story as we talk about what is going on. Oh, there you go. Sorry. Reverend Gary Williams is the one that's joining us inside Lead Story today. Is there a way that you could be too happy and too joyful after getting proposed to? Reverend Williams, have you been hearing people change and shift in the way that they respond to good news over the past few years?
Well, good evening, let me say that first. But their response is normally due to their value on what they have heard. Now, the person who is reporting may view the thing one way. I'm going to get married. Now, say for example, it's a parent hearing his 18-year-old who before was planning to go to college come now to say, Dad or Mom, I'm getting married. And you're like, what? What about all the plans you had for school? What about the plans you had before? How is marriage going to fit into all of this? Or maybe as it relates to who they're going to get married to. Maybe the parent know the person, said, are you sure that this is a good fit? Right? And so the parent may not take it in the same level of glee that the person who is giving it. So that can happen.
The same level of glee, though, Reverend Williams, is weird, considering that social media has made it very, very visible for individuals to see marriage proposals, but also for individuals to then share their joy when people get married. Is there such a thing as us being able to police the joy that others feel? Not only family members and friends, but also the wider society.
Yes, it can be done because, as you said, social media, people will give their comments and you read in the comments, this person will express, oh, congratulations, but I think you could do better. Or congratulations, I never knew you could land such a person. Congratulations, I wish you the best, I don't see it's gonna work. So all these comments can cause us to say, I don't think this person is totally with me on this. This person is not seeing it the way I see it. This person is not feeling the way I feel. And so, yeah, those things can become an issue.
Reverend Williams, you're a marriage counselor. How do marriages that start off with individuals expressing their surprise, expressing their shock that these people are partnering, go? Because it seems then that these two individuals might reconsider getting married if they have people around them who are not as happy for them as they would like them to be.
I've seen some fail. I've seen people soldier on, almost like they're trying to prove to others that you didn't think we're going to work, but we're going to work. But I've seen a few fail. I remember one lady coming to me stating that, well, the lady and daughter came to me telling me that the daughter was going to get married. The lady said, Pastor, let me give you my opinion. I don't think she's ready. I do not think she's ready. The marriage didn't last, right? So there are different things. I've heard people come, getting married and say, listen, everyone is against us getting married, but we are committed to this, and with proper counsel and proper commitment to the marriage, that is where the success comes. So the bubble of the joy around it, that's not really what caused marriage to work or fail. It's the level of commitment that a couple has and the different skills that they apply. One of the things I do in a marriage counseling is to talk people through to try and give them certain basic things that they're going to need within the marriage, like communication skills, understanding the other person. How does a person communicate and receive love? It's called the love language. How do they look at things like respect, commitment, intimacy, friendship, another very important thing in marriage that causes marriage to make it or not. Because a lot of people, they might be in love with one another, but they don't like each other. And that's an issue. They don't do things together. I mean, I encourage couples to not just be husband and wives, but be best friends. All right. So those are some of the things we talk through we talk about things that can damage a marriage, like if in-laws become outlaws, if in-laws come in and start to cause certain problems, if you don't know how to manage your friends, before you're married, they used to run in and out of your house. They used to call you out all odd hours at night. You used to go places with them. But now you're married. The requirements are different. The demands are different. And so they need to be able to manage that. Finance, that's another very important
Well, hold on, Reverend Mackenzie, because, Reverend Williams. You are talking to us about three important things here. One, you talked about couples doing things together. The second thing, you talked about managing the relationships, whether it's family or friends, in-laws becoming outlaws, and then third, finances. You are raising, apart from sexual intimacy in marriage, some of the top three reasons people get divorced, some of the top reasons that people decide that they no longer want to be married. Let's talk first about this sort of group activity that married couples share experiences. For some people, they're not looking to change anything about their lives when they get married. And even if they are willing to, they have an expectation that not much is meant to change. You do your thing, I do mine. Why is that something that you flagged as a marriage counselor?
Because it's a different arrangement. And when we might fool ourselves for a while and say, do your thing and I'll do mine. But it's not long before it starts to run across because your thing might start to clash with my thing. Marriage was meant for two persons to become one. Marriage was meant for two persons to start to fuse their lives together. It's an amazing thing to hear old people who have been married for 50, 60 years being able to finish each other's sentences, to just share everything. And that is what you want out of a marriage. That's what I guide people into. That's what you want to. So you do your thing and I do my thing. That's not going to work.
That's not going to work at all. Reverend Williams said, You clearly never got married then with him guiding you into the process and explaining to you what it is that you would need to do. You also talked about in-laws becoming outlaws, them along with friends intervening in the marriage in inappropriate ways that the couple would need to push back on. What have you seen that has been inappropriate conduct from these in-laws or friends? And what is it that couples can do to protect the relationship that they have?
All right. Your mom calls you. Okay. Boys are connected to their mothers normally, and according to Dr. Herbert Gale, and girls are connected to their father normally. And so a dad, I have two daughters, a dad is intricately involved in his daughter's life. And then he calls her every Friday, are you okay? And so on. And, and they spend a good while talking on the phone. And so now she's married. She wants to go to her husband on the Friday evening, and the dad is calling her. And it's not just a hello, how you doing? But he wants to sit down and talk. And she doesn't know how to say, Dad, I have something to do with this. No, but this is our time. This is our time. And he starts to almost impose his will on the marriage. And she doesn't know how to say no to Dad, and she ends up saying no to her husband. He tolerated for the first week, for the second week, for the 13th week. But after that, he said, man, doesn't this man know that you're now married? And you have forsaken mother and father. Sorry, you have left mother and father, and now you're in a new situation. And so in-laws that don't learn to respect the new relationship have quickly become outlaws. Friends.
Well, hold on. Don't tell us about friends just yet, because it's clear that that's going to have to sink in for some couples listening right now, Reverend Williams, because they see themselves as honoring their family, honoring their parents, but not recognizing this newly changed relationship dynamic that they have with a partner. Let's take a break inside Lead Story and continue to hear from marriage counselor Reverend Gary Williams as he helps us better understand what it looks like to be happy in marriage and what your happiness might mean for others looking on, because they might call you too happy. We'll talk about that next here inside Lead Story.
Yeah, we're here at Culture Works, the second staging.
Forward for the next staging of Skyline Levels Culture Works this Friday, 7 p.m.
The rebels them in town, in town, in town.
I'm here right now at Skyline with Culture Works.
More works, positive, hopeful. Skyline levels, I hit man, season 2, Culture Works.
Every day we're going in circles.
Yeah, Culture Works. Culture Works. It's like Culture Works started off a year, a great work for me.
Culture work, yeah man, it's been a great journey.
Blessed love, we're at the Skyline Levels at Culture Works.
We're here again on a season 2, so I hope that you and your friend them come, right?
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yeah. Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
How happy is too happy? That's what we're analyzing today as we look at some reactions online to persons now getting into marriage and their community, their village, not being thrilled for them. With us, we have marriage counselor Reverend Gary Williams to explore what marriage looks like, what getting into partnership looks like, and the reactions of those around and how that might impact your relationship. Reverend Williams, before the break, you spoke to us about not only family members, like fathers in your example, not understanding and appreciating the difference between their unmarried child and their married child. But you also were talking to us next about friends who might not recognize that relationship transition. What is it that you've seen?
Friends are, they share things together, they do things together, and that's what build a bond. And so we go out, we go to the game on a weekend. We come over and watch the finals, of the FA Cup. And so that is the norm. We buy pizza, we buy drink, and we come over and sit and watch the game and make all loud raucous noise until late in the night. But then one person gets married. Maybe the person who was to host it the next time gets married. And the other guys were, well, no problem. Your wife can stay at the game, can stay when we come over. And they're like, no, my wife is not into that. And so they're like, what? Don't tell me it's a ball and chain thing. And they try to put it on you that you can't just drop us because this was the previous arrangement.
So your friends have no understanding and appreciation of how your life has changed as well. They're not supportive also if they're calling it things like ball and chain.
Exactly. And they're almost kind of using guilt tripping on you I would say, I always say to the couple, listen, don't follow your friends, because when the night is cold, you don't want to be hugging up your friends. You want to hug up your wife. You let those friends go. They need to understand. If they don't, then that's their problem. They need to get their act together. But you preserve this relationship, because friends will come and friends will go. Marriage is forever. And that's where I really send my advice.
This advice seems very, very important, especially in the context of the third thing that you spoke of, which is finances and how those might shift and change with marriage. Some of it having to do, we understand, with family members expecting the money that you had being theirs until you got married and now have to pour it into communal cups. But what else is it that you see that marriage changes about finances of individuals?
I heard one day on the radio, I won't say what station, that this person came and was giving advice to women. And she said, ladies, have a bank account that your husband don't know about. And, just in case the marriage fails, you have something to fall back on. And while that sounds practically nice, it's not a good advice.
Whoa,
see,
Reverend Williams, as a woman who counsels women who are coming out of difficult domestic situations, especially with their partners, women will often say that it is their mothers or grandmothers who had given them that advice themselves, whispering in their ear, even if they were happily married, make sure that you're okay, stack some money away. Why are you not in support of that?
I think it's important always to stack money away. But I don't think whenever you start having secrets in marriage, those are the loopholes through which the enemy crawls and cause problems. You see, anytime you have an escape, as soon as problem comes, you run for your escape, rather than to stand and fight, rather than to stand and be resilient and work through this problem. Because any problem, I challenge people, any problem in marriage can be worked out, no matter what it is.
I would make a distinction between problems in marriage and things that the Jamaica Constabulary Force has to get involved in. So if you need to make a police report about something that has happened in your marriage, that's not a problem. That's certainly something that you can solve outside of perhaps counseling and support. But these things that you've talked about, marital problems where your father is calling all the time or your friends are getting involved, those along with your finances definitely look like something that you would need to have then some sort of support, guidance. A marriage counselor like you would be a perfect person to pull into that, to give sound advice for individuals. But do you also think there's a gendered component to this? The expectations of marriage, but also the expectations of the joys of marriage. Because quite often you would hear men talking about the sadness of becoming married and not having to live their lives the way they had been accustomed to, while women might be expected to be happier, their friends might be expected to be happier, and they might have just a different experience in at least the beginning of marital life. Is that something that you see?
Yes. A lot of men, because, it's easier, I'll say it's easier for a man to get married than a woman. And the reason being, the man is the hunter and he goes after. The woman kind of have to stay around for the most part and be hunted, right? And so if no one shoots in her direction, then, or if no one shoots purposefully in her direction, then she might stay unmarried. So I know some wonderful ladies who've never been married. And I know some men who may not be so wonderful and they've been married and then be married again and married again. I'm like, wow. It's like, if a woman gets, she gets widowed at age 65, that can almost be it for her. I've known men to be widowed in their 70s and in a second marriage now. So men see marriage as something that they can do at any time. So even if you get in a marriage, someone might say, yo, brethren, why you tie down yourself so early? Not even understanding that it's not a title, you're committing. But ladies, it's like when they finally get asked, especially somebody that they desire, they're over the moon, and it is special, and it is celebrated. She'll tell her friends, and and tell all her sisters and her and so on. While a guy sometimes he asks someone and someone say, "So you're gonna get why not her? What he's gonna say, did I make the right choice?" And then he's a bit more iffy, and he's more so. A lady will be so much more happy when this guy rather than the guy. Sometimes the guy is just left in wondering, and his friends are telling him you did it too quickly, and maybe you should have waited until a better person come along and all those foolishness about all those things. So there's a difference in how it is celebrated, male and female. There is a difference because ladies are normally more gleeful about the whole idea.
All right,
but when as a guy you get the right girl and you're wise enough to know this is the right one. Listen, I mean, your joy should skyrocket as you celebrate.
I love how you put that, especially recognizing that men and women have different reactions to marriage, but you putting it there, letting it be very, very clear that both can be incredibly happy with the right partner. One word from you, one final thing from you, Reverend Williams. What is one word that you would ask people to remember as they enter into marriage or consider marriage? One big thing that in your years of counseling you think that they should bear in mind?
Get counseling. Someone who will talk you through the process. Don't assume that, I know everything about this person. That's foolishness. I say to guys all the while, one of the most dynamic of all of God's creation is a female. They are dynamic. You think those guys who think they need more than one woman, they are stupid. You don't need more than one woman. One is enough for the rest of your life. Take time to know her. Percy Sledge was right. Take time to know her. It's not an overnight thing.
Hey.
And just when you think you know her, you spend some more time and you realize dynamic. There's no such thing. When you give yourself to it, you're not going to be bored. So get somebody to guide you in the early stage. And every day you guys live together, trust God together, and be committed to stay together.
I think that is so powerful that you shared that, Reverend Gary Williams. For many people thinking of marriage, those in marriages already, you've certainly given them advice to help strengthen their path to marriage or strengthen the marriages that they're currently in right now. Reverend Gary Williams, marriage counselor and clearly a fan of Percy Sledge. Thanks so much for joining us inside Lead Story. Now, it's clear that having had that conversation this evening that you could be having a strengthened marriage, a better life. But this week reminded us that pressure shows up in different ways and in the systems trying to keep up. In the communities that are still healing, in women deciding whether it is safe to speak,